Welcome to How They Do That. I'm your host, Scott Waldron, and here is a little preview of what you're going to hear today.
For people like me that are not wired to naturally have those conversations that feel remotely uncomfortable, it has strategies on how to overcome that and recognizing that this isn't all about you. This is actually all about the other person. And if you're not having that conversation with them, again, whether it's crucial or business development, you're not doing them a favor. But I started with about 150 people. That list is probably closer to 500 or 600 now of people that I just have a connection with. You have more people that are for you than against you. You just have to be willing to ask for help.
Welcome to the show today. Will Riley is going to share with us his secret sauce. His secret sauce to building his business from 2022 to 2023 by 75%. And from 2023 to 2024, it was a mere 10%. But here's the caveat with that. 10% because of a capacity issue. He was already topped out. He couldn't take on any more work, so it didn't grow anymore from there. It exploded the year prior, and then he had to bring on some additional consultants to help him. Actually, that was the first time he actually had to say no to clients because there were just too many of them. So we're going to find out his secret, and it's pretty simple, and it doesn't, take a lot of money to do what he's doing. Well, I guess it depends on where you go to, have your coffee. So coffee catch-ups and these no-selling catch-ups, he calls them, to really try to build that relationship, to enhance that relationship, and to be there for people. You're going to hear in this interview Will's heart. And I think that's the key to opening the doors that he's been able to open through these meetings and these catch-ups that he's done. So Will is a speaker, coach, marketer, and he's a strategist. While you may not have heard of him, chances are you're probably familiar with his work. He's got 15 years of experience in award-winning marketing executive roles. He's built strategies. He's innovated for global and local brands, from national restaurant chains to global consumer goods to celebrities and adult beverages. He's worked with brands that you likely see or use every day. He's a firm believer that communication is at the root of most business challenges. And as a result, he enjoys working with employees at all levels to build support for strategic vision and helping find measurable ways to keep them focused and delivering their best work. So we're going to get on with this interview. Here we come, Will. Will Riley. Here
Scott,
you are, man.
Waldron. Hi.
So excited to talk to you. You and I have crossed many paths and, engaged in different ways, whether it was you dressing up as a cowboy and doing some weird, talent show thing, which I'll never forget. Yeah.
This is
that image is just blazed into my brain. But also just seeing you grow and just expand and just be able to, your business is crushing it, man. I'm so proud of you. It's awesome.
Oh, shucks. You flatter me.
Oh, man. I love it. I love trying to make you feel a little bit. Thank you for just accepting that and not deflecting it.
That's fine. That's fine. Stop it. Stop with the praise.
No, stop. Yeah, stop it. Stop. You can't see his hand motions pointing towards himself.
Sorry.
Well, your growth is just so good. And I want to know, Will, how'd you do that? Like, what's your secret sauce? I think I know your secret sauce, but I want you to tell everybody your secret sauce.
Yeah. It is kind of giving you a little bit of background on my insecurities and my own vulnerabilities. I hate sales. I've never enjoyed it. I've never liked it. I don't think I'm good at it. I probably will never be good at it. So the biggest obstacle I had was finding a way that I could grow a business that fit with my anti-sales mindset, of what can I do to make it a little bit easier for me to be able to have those conversations and to feel more comfortable and feel more authentic and more vulnerable with people without making it feel like I'm trying to sell them something. And it was an eye-opening moment about a year ago where I went to this like a day-long summit that our accountant and his business coach had put together called I think it was called 100K in 100 days. And we're good friends. He's also our accountant. He used to put together these really large events for small business owners to help them understand how to better develop their businesses. And in one of our meetings, I was giving him some feedback. I was like, look, if you want to make a really big impact, focus on fewer people, do a day-long session that's really going to resonate with them, where you can have a stronger connection. And that's where your impact will be. So he took my advice, he did that, and was like, hey, I'm doing this. Want you there, A, to participate, B, to give me some feedback. And so I went to this event almost a year ago, and he walked through a lot of the nuts and bolts from the financial and accounting standpoint as a small business owner. His business coach looked at it from kind of the coaching element of how do you grow a business? How do you have the right mindset to do that? And one of the pieces of advice that she gave is that 80% of your time should be spent on business development, with about 20% of your time in the business and doing work, which was very much a cringe moment for me. I do not like the business development side, as I started this interview by saying, and that was really tough to hear. It was tough to like a very tough pill to swallow, in the sense that I'm handling my business backwards. So I made a diligent effort to try and spend, and be perfectly honest, I haven't gotten to 80% yet. I'm probably at like 60 to 70%, but focusing the majority of my time on the business development side and what that looks like for me and how I can make that more comfortable fitting in with my style, with less time focused on doing a lot of the day-to-day stuff. Do you want me to keep talking, or do you want to pepper in questions?
Well, people aren't here to hear me talk, Will. So,
okay.
yes, I want to hear you talk some more. I'm going to ask you some questions, though, and you can talk some more, because I'm going to throw myself in the boat with you and just say, I don't love business development either. And there's a lot of people out there that are like, I didn't get into this to be a business development person. I got in this to help liberate people and to help them, coach them or consult them through their business practices and their leadership styles and whatever they're doing, health or whatever. And I didn't get in this to do business development. Now, I'm an entrepreneur, which means by default, you're going to be doing business development. But I try to go, what's the smallest amount of business development I can possibly do and just get all these clients? And then if I get a lot of clients, I don't have to do business development anymore, right? And so, I mean, yeah, I'm with you. You consider yourself more of an introverted type personality. I as well put myself in that realm. But the way I've done it is through public speaking. Like professional speaking has been my introverted way of generating leads and having great conversations with people at events and doing all kinds of things. So I think you just got to find what works for you. But your whole idea here is what? Like, what is your secret now that you have found to use to really do your business development?
Yeah. If I had to boil it down into a mantra, and this is what I teach and help my clients with, which is your business development strategy should be a reflection of who you are. And I'm not somebody that authenticity and vulnerability are very important to me. I feel that I have to bring that into every conversation that I have and in all of my marketing for my business and who I am as a consultant. And if I don't do that, it's not going to resonate with who I want to work with. If they're not open to the authenticity and the vulnerability at the front, they're not going to be open to it towards the end. So if I went out and I marketed myself by doing a lot of social media posts, and this is no offense to anybody that this is their strategy, because everybody is going to have something that works for them that's unique to them. But for me, if I went out and I crafted a very heavy social media campaign or a cold direct mail or email program reaching out to hundreds and thousands of people, is that necessarily going to reflect the work that I'm going to do with that client? The answer for me is no. What benefits me and how I want to open that door from a business development standpoint is focusing on meaningful relationships. And the way that I've always approached marketing, and again, it has worked for me. It doesn't always work for everybody, because business development should be a reflection of who you are and how you want to operate. I set a goal for myself when I first started, and I've never wavered from this goal, is having 5 coffees a month. 5 coffees, whether it be virtual, sometimes with actual coffee, sometimes not. It's more like a catch up and a check in and just having a conversation with people, with 5 different people every single month. It is never intended to be a sales conversation. It is never, I never go in with an ulterior motive. If that conversation leads into, which about 80 to 90% of the time it does, if it goes into, tell me about what you're up to, what's your business doing, how are things going, great. But if that doesn't happen and it ends up being just a casual conversation, that's fine too. But I want 5 of those a month to help fuel that relationship, to help build that relationship, and to help form a more solid connection. And that's worked for me. Yeah.
Well, I mean, I'm going to push back a little bit, and I'm going to say, well, but we always are like, we're in a relationship business. You go and you get the relationship, you build the relationship, because that's where your referral network comes from. And that's where you're relationship. I get it. Right. And I know I'm supposed to have these meetings, and I sit there and go, I don't even know if I know 5 people that I really want to have coffee with. But I probably do.
You do.
I'm just saying that because I don't really want to have coffee with 5 people, but you know what I'm saying? And so I'm sitting there going, gosh, that's 60 people a year that you're having coffee with, right? That you're sharing some time with. So tell me a story about one of these coffees that has, so if this is your game, Will Riley, this is your game. I want to know, where's the proof? Like, what has happened as a result of you having some coffee catch-ups?
Gotcha. It has actually happened. A client that I onboarded yesterday was the result of a coffee catch-up about 4 months ago, which was, she was another consultant. She and her business partner hadn't connected in a while, just checked in to see how things were going, scheduled a coffee catch-up, which again, coffee is figurative. It could be literal coffee. Sometimes it could just be nothing and a catch up on Zoom. But my frame of reference is calling them coffee catch ups. So we hopped on a Zoom. She, again, 80 to 90%. The question is always asked, how's business going? I told her how my business was going, asked her how hers was. And from that moment, I knew there were areas that I could help her with. And I just peppered in questions. A catch up quickly turned into, I'm hearing you talk about some pain points in your business. Didn't turn into sales. It just turned into a discovery session. We had, from that catch up, there were a couple more follow-ups where we got a little bit more specific into how I could help her business grow. This was more from a marketing perspective and a strategy perspective. And then yesterday we had our formal kickoff meeting. So part of the reason, Scott, that, we all say we're in the relationship business. I am wired where my conversations, I not trying to toot my own horn, but for those of you listening, if you knew me, I think you would agree with this.
Yeah, I'm interested. I'm really interested to hear what you're about to say.
I feel like whenever I meet people and I connect with people, there is this natural, like, people feel that they are in a safe space with me. I used the example. I was at a bike race, like a bicycle race called Twilight Criterium here in Athens this past year. And a guy that I hadn't seen in a while was there, and we're casual acquaintances. I don't know him very well, but he walked up to me and said, he was like, "Hey, Will, how's it going?" I was like, I'm good. And I looked at him and I said, "How are you doing?" And then there was like this pause. And then he started going, "How am I doing? How am I doing? Wow. You know what? I think I could be better. And it just unloaded in this conversation. But I feel like there's something about me and how I approach people that there's this natural connection. So, from a business development standpoint, if I have that connection with people, it allows me to immediately start going a little bit deeper and getting them to open up and be a little bit more vulnerable because I'm being vulnerable with them. And that's helped me. So those coffee catch ups, it is a really intense, not well, intense may be too strong of a word, but it's this safe space that I've created for people to be able to just openly talk. If I'm vulnerable, they can be vulnerable, and it allows me to have a really authentic relationship with them. It's not transactional, it's highly influential.
When I think about these, because my coach has also encouraged me to do this multiple times, and I have yet to do it, but I sit there and think about, I'm calling this person, trying to catch up. They probably in the back of their mind think, oh, they're just trying to sell me something, or oh, they're just trying to like, I don't know, but that thought comes in my head often when I think about reaching out to people, and maybe I'm just trying to sabotage that whole thing. So I don't do it. Right. But I've noticed that when I have done it, like I've done it with past clients, and we catch up and it's like the best time ever. And we end up talking for like an hour and a half, and we're just like all chummy, and it's great. And, it's not like that. It's not sleazy, and they just think I'm there to sell them something. And once I realize that after those moments, I try to remember it, because I know the next time I try to do that, it's going to seep into my brain again. Of like, oh, don't be sleazy, Scott. Oh, they're probably just thinking you're trying to sell them something, And so I don't know. Let me ask you this. So you said when you're having a conversation with this person 4 months ago, you kind of heard some things. Now, I'll sit there and go, well, that just seems opportunistic. Like, well, maybe it is, maybe it's not. But what is how do you transition then into a sales conversation? Because in the back of your mind, you're kind of sitting there thinking, oh, this could be my next client. How do I transition into that next conversation, that next question? Like what? I don't know. Is there a specific question, or is there a technique you use? Or I'm not trying to say you're manipulating. I'm trying to say, how do you engage?
Not to role play with you, but there's a lot of there's some natural ways to inject that in that, right? So if you say, I'm experiencing this problem with my business, or I'm experiencing this challenge, I often find myself saying something along the lines of, it is so funny that you're mentioning that, or it's so interesting that you're mentioning that, because the timing is odd. I'm experiencing something almost identical with another client. So I don't want you to feel like you're alone. B, other people are going through that challenge, and I can help them with that. It's never I never switch it to I can do this for you. It's more of I empathize and I understand what you're going through, because I have seen it with other people as well. That feels more authentic to me and my style, versus trying to turn it and make it all about them. It's more like, I hear you. I understand what you're going through. This is how I have helped other companies with it. It's up to them. It gives them the power to say, oh, that sounds great. Like, do you think you could help me with that? Or I want to talk more about that, which is precisely what has happened with this client or this conversation that turned into a client yesterday. That sounds awesome. I would love for you to help us with that.
Let me ask you this one. So we've been out at conversations with people, and they don't want to say that they're struggling. They're kind of putting it out there in the world, like things are crushing it. We're doing great. Like everything's awesome, humming along. And you're not sensing like that they have a wall up a little bit. Like they don't want to be fully vulnerable with you. What do you do in those situations? I'm not trying to force the sales conversation, but I'm trying to say, like, Yeah.
I
What do you do?
don't give them a hammer and start asking them to knock their wall down. If their wall is up, their wall is up. It is rare that I have a conversation with somebody where they're not willing to share any aspect of pain or talk about things that could be better. Again, I create that space. This isn't, and let me clarify, this isn't like outreach to somebody that I haven't talked to in 10 years and say, hey, let's grab coffee. These are people that I may not have talked to in like the past year that I can say, you know what, we had that relationship. It's already established. I just haven't talked to you in a while. You've run across my mind a few times. I've missed talking to you. How about we just do a quick catch up? Or if you want to grab lunch, just grab happy hour. Let's do something just to reconnect. So there's a little bit of trust that's already established there. Because that trust has already been established there, it's rare that I get that wall that's immediately up. This isn't like a cold calling situation. But if that wall is up in the cases where I've experienced it, I'm not giving them that tool to bring the wall down. Like, I'll let it be there for a little bit. If that's the space they want to operate in, that's the space they want to operate in. We can maybe try and chip away at it in a future catch up. Now just may not be the opportunity to do that.
Okay. Really good. That's really good advice. You're not going in to knock their bulldozer wall or get them to do it. It's kind of like, let it be, because that is a sure way to destroy that trust that you're trying to build. Sure. All right. I want to get to action here. What is one thing that you think people could do right now to take some action?
Yeah. 5 coffees a month. 5.
Dang.
Like, I know, right? I already mentioned it. You should know that was coming. 5. Just,
what's your go-to? Like, how do I find those 5 people? Give me something I can do to find those 5 people.
So when I first started years ago, and I still refer to this list, by the way, it's been 8 years and I still refer to it. One of the very first things I did is like, I'm going to go out on my own. Who are all the people that I possibly know that are in my life that I have connection with? That would either be somebody that A, I would like to have them as a client, or B, they're people that are in my corner that would refer me to other people or at least help make introductions. And I had a list about 150 people. And I've added to that list ever since then. Or I keep that list updated of like, I've had these conversations. I have to do that. I'm super like a bit anal retentive and OCD when it comes to spreadsheets. So I keep notes of every time that I meet with somebody and I refer to that list and see if I haven't talked to them in about 6 months, I need to reach out again. But I started with about 150 people. That list is probably closer to 500 or 600 now of people that I just have a connection with and I have a relationship with, or I have done work with in the past. And these are people that are in my corner. And my goal is 5 of those people a month. So I'm not, and if I meet new people, yeah, they get added to the list too, but just 5. And if you can create that list of a few hundred people, because everybody knows a few hundred people, I'm willing to bet, like you truly do. People that you have worked with, people that you encountered, people that you are friends with, family members, former colleagues that you haven't talked to in a really long time, coworkers, bosses, etc. You've got that list. Create the list, keep track of it, and 5 of those people every month.
Am I on your list?
Of course you're on this list.
Yes. Okay.
Jeez. Of course.
I want to be on your list. I don't want to be on a lot of lists, but I want to be on yours. So that's awesome. All right. Here's my other question for you. I got a couple more. Number 1, what book or podcast that people should check out right now that you think could help people in their business or in life?
Oh, wow. So one book that is constantly on my desktop that I keep within quick reach, or it's on my bookshelf. So I can quickly, on all of my Zoom calls, I can show it to clients whenever I'm talking to them. Crucial Conversations, tools for talking when the stakes are high. 10 out of 10 recommend. It's not necessarily about business development, but I do think it's applicable for people like me that are not wired to naturally have those conversations that feel remotely uncomfortable, whether that's a crucial conversation or a business development conversation. it has strategies on how to overcome that, and recognizing that this isn't all about you. This is actually all about the other person. And if you're not having that conversation with them, again, whether it's crucial or business development, you're not doing them a favor. So it's important to get comfortable in having those conversations. So crucial conversations, 10 out of 10 would recommend. I've probably read it 5 different times. I'm trying to think of any other books that I'm actively reading right now that would connect to a business development perspective. But I read a lot of psychology type stuff. So
Good. No, I think that those are important. And the Crucial Conversations book is awesome. I mean, the framework and using those, I mean, I use them with my kids, framework, just to like have like those conversations. It's really important in life and at work that we have those. All right. I want a word of hope from you for all those coaches, consultants out there that are looking, that are struggling, that are maybe stuck, that are just maybe looking for that next big step. They see vision for the future, but it's like, it's so far away. What's a word of hope you have for those people?
You have more people that are for you than against you. You just have to be willing to ask for help.
This is true. I think asking for help, especially when you are in a place of struggle, is hard because you don't want necessarily people to know you're struggling. Then there's other things where maybe you have that one person that is expecting you not to make it.
Yeah.
But
yeah. Usually that person is yourself. Usually it's yourself.
This is true. This is true. And then you start thinking, wait a second, health insurance would be really nice.
Right?
So, those kinds of thoughts. But thanks for that. That's really powerful. I really appreciate that. I don't ask for help enough.
Yeah.
And
neither do I. It's something I'm always working on.
Well, thanks for being on the show.
Yeah,
and it's been really good talking to you, catching up, and I appreciate you.
Yeah, appreciate you. Thanks for having me.
How many of you right now I know many of you are probably thinking in the back of your mind, who could I talk to? Who are 5 people that I could nail down right now and have those catch-ups with? Me, I sit there and I think about, okay, so a lot of my contacts aren't necessarily local. So, maybe we just have it via Zoom. Maybe I go back through my contact list of old clients that I had in my agency days. Hey, there's an idea. Had great relationships with those and talk to them about what I'm doing now. Because don't we want to know? We sure do. We want to catch up with people that we had good relationships with. People want to know what's going on in your life, especially if you had some kind of connection with them in the past. There's opportunities for both of you on both sides, and think about how to be for others, how to serve others, and in turn, being there, being present, empathizing, and seeking to understand. And I think that will help open some doors for you. Thank you for joining me today on How They Do That. If you found this helpful, please rate the show wherever you listen to podcasts. You see, I help you, you help me. That's how it works. Oh, and please do not keep this to yourself. Share the show with a fellow coach who could also use these insights. Keep exploring, my friends. Never stop asking, how'd they do that? Because with every question, you get closer and closer to refining your business and scaling your impact.